Well, President Trump not letting up on his attacks on the Federal Reserve. President Trump also called for the Fed to cut rates to bring down the value of the dollar so it would help our great American companies compete around the world. For more on this, I want to bring in former Texas Congressman and, of course, a man who has made it his mission to end the Fed, Ron Paul. Ron Paul, thank you for joining us.
Good to be with you, Charles.
Hey, first of all, the idea that the Fed is in the news all the time. I can remember about a decade ago, there was one person fighting this crusade. You may have a few more believers on board now.
That's true. That may be a bad sign if other people are getting worried and they know what I think. And you talk about the power of the Fed. Yeah, I think they have too much power ever since 1913. So that is a problem. But, the reason why I get worried about things like this and the power that they have is they don't have a corresponding amount of knowledge. It's sort of the Hayekian warning about the pretense of knowledge. They just don't know these answers. This whole idea that they know what interest rates should be, and then they lose control, and then they say, well, maybe we ought to be negative or down to 1. And then we complain about other people rigging their currency and lowering their currency value. Then all of a sudden now that's what we're supposed to be doing. So I don't think there's any control under the situation. But I don't think it's something that is innate. It's the fact that they can't know. You don't know what interest rates should be. But then there's a lot of ramifications from this. The big thing that annoys me is how they facilitate borrowing money. Can you imagine, Charles, if they couldn't go to the Fed and the Fed wasn't there and they couldn't work on interest rates and you have $1 trillion a year deficit? I mean, the whole thing would be over. So it's all artificial and malinvestment that goes on.
Right.
And the bubble that we had in 08 and 09, I think is typical. I don't think we're really recovered. And I think we have to face up to the fact that they're going to come back.
Well, to your point, in 1913, we were promised an end to the vicious business cycle, the wild gyrations. Since then, I've lost track of how many recessions we've had. I know we had a Great Depression and a Great Recession more recently, and yet the Fed has taken on more power since the Great Recession. Consumer protection, and now they want to have a payment system. Who in Congress or who in Washington, D.C. is going to reel them in? I thought, to me, they seem like an unaccountable body, but the most powerful unaccountable body on the planet.
Well, I think there's a lot of people I met in Congress that weren't too interested. I hope I got their interest perked up a little bit, but they don't understand it except for the fact that the leadership understands it, because conservatives and liberals get together and they have to spend money, get that budget thing. That's a typical example. Pelosi and Trump get together, you raise the military, we'll raise the welfare. And don't worry about the deficit. Spend more and more money and complain about the Fed because they're not solving the problem.
Well, to that point, I want to jump in for 1 second because I got to ask you, you hit on a point. We've got this now modern monetary theory, and we've got both sides of the aisle saying deficits don't matter. It feels to me what they're setting up is some sort of a way for the federal government to dictate monetary policy so they can pay for Medicare for all, or they can pay for unlimited military budgets. It feels like both sides would like to find a way to tap into the Fed's ability to print money out of thin air.
Well, they do a lot of that now already, and they're going to establish it even more so. But I think that's based on wishful thinking, because a lot of times, everything that we have done is a negative. I think last week was so significant about the end of all this printing money and modern monetary theory is that when the interest rates were lowered 1/4 point and it was supposed to be 1/2 point, I mean, the hysteria broke out. I mean, what is going on there? I think that is a significant event, and I think it tells you how bad it is. And I think this idea that you can have endless spending, there is a limit. It's just amazing that the world needs the dollars, and they want us to do that. We bail them out, and we have a military power. We have to protect everybody. So it's not going to quit. It's an addiction, and the addict always needs more and more, and the politician is not going to allow it to become readily apparent that the economy's in big trouble and they didn't do something. Everybody has to do something.
Yeah, well, Congressman Paul, I got to tell you, it feels like wherever the cliff is, we'll get there one day, because to your point, no one's really working hard to curb all of this. We always appreciate your wisdom and insight. Congressman Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.